What is up, everybody? This is Eric, the one and only Barrier Collector, and today I will be doing my most memorable games of 2025. Now, first off, I hope that you guys had a happy holiday, a happy new year with your friends, families, and loved ones. And of course, I am doing this video. This is like a video tradition that I love doing every year. I've been doing these for the last couple of years. And like always, the games that I'm about to show you guys are my most memorable games that I've beat during the year of 2025. Some of them I did videos already for them. Some of them I haven't done yet. Some I will not do videos. Of course, again, like I've always mentioned before, I will not do, I will not show gameplay footage of those games. However, of course, if I do decide to do future videos on these games, I will do so in the future. But all in all, this year was another year that I did get my monkey off the back for a couple of games. I continue that tradition like I did last year. So that's a good thing, and I actually beat a lot of games this year. And of course, I have a lot of memorable ones, and I'm gonna do a little something a little bit different, and then I'm gonna mention what my top memorable games are of the list that I just showed right now. Anyways, without further ado, the first game that I beat at the beginning of 2025 was a game that I did a video for already called, for the PS1, called Zeiramzone. Of course, I do not own the game, but I did do a video on it. So, go ahead and check it out. Zeiramzone is based off on the game Hyper Area, which is based off a small series anime, which Zeiramzone, this one in particular, is based on the films of the name of the video Zeiram. There's two videos that I did. Watch the video, the review of this game, because it's very interesting, very memorable game. To this day, I remember the movies quite fondly, as well as the gameplay of this game. So just watch the video if you guys wish to do so. It's in my, is one of the videos I did at the beginning of the year. And of course, the next game that was memorable to me was the Garten of Banban, for the Steam. Now, this one was memorable because I beat it around the time that I was with my my brother-in-law, my girlfriend's brother, Lily's brother, and my son. I believe I did do a video. Yes, I did. I did do a video on this one, so go ahead and check it out as well. It's based off a first-person horror adventure game. I won't say much. Watch the video. And then the next one, this one right here, was a game that I got the monkey on my back, first of all, because I also own it for the 3DS. However, it's a game that I wanted to play the original on the console. It's the N64 game. It's one that I never thought I would play, that a lot of people consider to be one of the best games of the series ever made. And that is Zelda, the Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64. Of course, this one is a reproduction cart. But I was very impressed by the game. This was one of those games that I was very iffy. I would play. It took me many years to beat because I would play it. I remember having the GameCube, the one that has all the Zelda games in one, for the GameCube. I had it many years ago. I started playing it, then I gave up on it. Gave that game actually to my brother-in-law, my girlfriend's brother. And then years later, I bought the 3DS version thinking I was going to play it. I did play it for a little bit, then I gave up on it, and then finally I decided to play it. And I was very impressed for the game. I feel like it was one of those good Zelda games. Now, is it one of my favorites? No, but it's not one of the worst either. And I was very impressed. Very good story and a very fun game. So definitely I'm happy to have played it and have beaten it. The next one that I played is a game that I've known of since I was young, many years. That when I had my Nomad, when I was younger, but I never bought it, never played it until when I bought the cartridge. I decided to play it. It was another game that I got the monkey off my back, and that game is The Last Battle for the Genesis. Oh man, not a very good game, and I was kind of like, from what people were saying in the in a lot of reviews over the years, they don't hold this as a great game. However, I discovered that this is part of the Fist of the North Star series, which to me, Fist of the North Star is a very interesting game. I may do a video on it in the near future, especially because I got other games based on the series, and it's a very interesting one to talk about. But finally got the monkey on my back and I beat it. The next one that I beat, this one I did a video on and I loved it, is Life on Earth Reimagined. I did a video on this game. This is of course a reproduction cart. And it's a very fun 2D side-scrolling shooter. You guys can watch my video and I'll go more in detail, but this was a very memorable game, one that I had a lot of fun playing. Next game that I beat in the list is one that I was very impressed. I would see in a lot of those mini handheld consoles, and I would play it and I was like, okay, but then when I learned the history on it and I did a video on it, I was very impressed on it, and that game is Door for the Famicom. You guys can watch the video on that one as well. I may put links of the videos down below. There were several, and if not, then you guys can just go back within the last year. You guys can see it. Yeah, I might as well, because it's gonna be a lot to put. There were several videos done on several games throughout the year. So yeah, I'm being lazy. Very fun game. Very challenging puzzle game. Nonetheless, I beat it and I had a lot of fun with it. Next one is one that I haven't done a video on yet, and I may be planning on doing one in the near future. And I would say this is like the continuation / the prequel / the sequel. I'm not really sure how it goes, but it ties in with Life on Earth, and that is Life on Mars. And it's for the Sega Genesis. Very fun mini Metroidvania game. I had a lot of fun with this one. I'm probably going to do a video. This one, I want to say this takes place after the events of Life on Earth. I'm not sure. But very interesting one nonetheless. And I may do a video on this one in the near future. So yeah, very fun game. Then the next one, of course, I did do a video on, and I did it. It was memorable, and I'll explain right now. I did a video, and this is The Adventures of Chatran for the Famicom disc or the NES. Very memorable game in the fact that the gameplay was so retro. Like, it reminded me of those early NES games, which is what it was. But it just gave me that nostalgia vibe. Had a lot of fun with it. It was an interesting game. You guys can watch the video where I go into more detail of what this game is about. And this is a very interesting story on that game in general, you know. And then the next one. Now, this one I am planning on doing a video very soon. I already have the gameplay footage of the game, but I haven't sat down to talk about it. And that is Sega Genesis Gargoyles. I won't go into much detail, but I beat it. It was one that I got the monkey off my back. That for many years I've always wanted to play. I even have the Gargoyles Switch version, the limited run. But I'm not gonna go into much details because this one was very interesting. But I was very happy to beat. But I'll go into more detail when I do the video, and it's coming soon. This one I'm planning on doing it very soon. So definitely look out for that video. I can't even talk. Look out for that video in the near future, for sure. The next one is another one that I may do a video on. Probably more likely, it was very interesting, and that is the Samurai Pizza Cats for the NES, or Ninja Cat. This game was very fun. It's an NES game that's very similar to kind of like the Mega Man games. This one is a reproduction, of course. And this one, actually, I thought it was going to be in English because there's an English one. And this is actually in Japanese, only placed on the Nintendo. And I was kind of pissed off when I found out that that's what it was. But nonetheless, very fun game. I played the English version of it and had a lot of fun with it. So I may do a video in the near future of this one as well. Basically, you're a group of ninja cats. This is based off an anime that came out in Japan. And each character, there's like a bunch of characters, and each of them has different unique abilities and do different things. Nonetheless, this is a fun one. Woo! Sorry guys, at the time that I'm doing this video, it's very late at night and I'm very tired right now, but I'm trying to pull through. This next one, I don't have an actual game for it, but this one was an interesting one. And it's one that took me years to beat, and I'll explain right now. It's the game for the Sega Genesis, Blue Almanac, aka Star Odyssey, for the Sega Genesis. Now, this is an RPG that's a Japanese only game that came out many years ago. However, they did in English. They kind of did after the life of the Genesis early on when they started doing homebrew games, or they started doing a lot of Genesis games. They made Star Odyssey, and this was such a challenging RPG. One that I started playing it. I want to say I started playing this one. Let me bring it back up so you guys can see it. I started playing this one, gosh, like years ago. It was one of those games that I started playing years ago. And I played it up to a certain point. I remember really being dedicated. I played it in my PSP, the ROM, and I remember playing it, getting to a certain spot, getting very far on there, and then just stopped playing it. Just kind of gave up on it because it was very difficult. There is no cheats on it, so I had to grind and get the levels, which at the end it turned out not to be that bad, and it was a very fun and interesting story. One of the interesting things is that the final boss of the game, there is a particular set of characters you must use to beat it to make it very easy. Otherwise, it is hell. It is very hard to beat. But other than that, it was a game, and it reminded me a lot of those games from like the Phantasy Star series. But at the end of the day, I beat it, and I was very happy to do so. It took me many years to do. So yes, of course, I beat it. The next game that I played was another one for the Steam that my son and I beat, and I got very excited over it, and that's Indigo Park for the Steam. Now, they say that the game Indigo Park was supposed to come out around this time of the year, the second chapter 2. However, it got pushed back, but it's definitely coming out, and I can't wait for it to come out because this game was really fun. Very reminiscent to like Garten Of Banban, Poppy Playtime, all those type of games. But it takes place in a theme park, and this little guy right here kind of guides you through the story. And my son and I had a blast with it, and we feel like he might be one of the bad guys, but we don't know yet because so far in the beginning of the chapter, he helped you pull through. So definitely one to look out for. Now, the next game, I'm actually gonna say these all together because I'm gonna bring up the whole series because I beat him throughout different times of the year. And the game series that I beat was Poppy Playtime Chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4. Gosh, these games right here, they were so much fun. My son got me hooked on these, and when we bought this triple pack, we bought it for my son, and then I bought part 4 as a download, as a digital download, and boy, it was one of those games that I could not wait to play next. I cannot wait for part 5 to come out. It was such a great story that we had a lot of fun with it. My son and I, it was one of the first games that officially, I can't even say officially, officially, my son and I took turns playing. One moment he would play, then one minute he would play. He, especially Logan, was very knowledgeable on the games because he watched videos ahead of time, so he kind of knew what was going on. But he played them, and we had a lot of fun playing them. We may do a video on these. I don't know. We were planning something. I'll kind of spoil a little bit. Logan and I were planning to do a video together about these, because these, if you guys haven't played this, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people have already by now, do yourself a favor and play them. You cannot go wrong. The story's awesome. Very good. Very great story. So I jumped ahead and I did a couple because these I beat throughout the months when they came out. So it was a very interesting thing about beating all of those. So they kind of came around at different moments of the months, especially chapter 4. So I just went ahead and just skipped to all those games, which I beat around, I would say, after Indigo Park, around May, right before the summertime. We beat those and we had a lot of fun. Now, before I begin this next game, let me take a sip of water because it's going to get interesting. This one particular game, I consider it, and please, guys, please, with all due respect, I'm going to go and say this, to me, is one of the worst games of the series ever. I feel like the game is so underrated. I feel like, to me, it was just not perfect at all. However, I understand and I respect it, and I understand what the game did for the genre in general and what it did for future installments of the games in the series. And that game, unfortunately, is Super Mario 64. Gosh darn it. This one, I gotta say right now, this one, another game that I got the monkey off my back. I used to have this game many years ago. I tried playing it, only beat a couple of levels, and gave up on it so many times until finally I played it a little bit, but then I just used cheats and I just went straight to the end. I thought this game was horrible. No offense to anybody that may have grown up playing this game. Like I said before, I have a lot of respect in the game. I know I'm trashing it right now, but this game was revolutionary for the 3D action platformers that came out in the future. Not only the Mario ones in general, but throughout the 3D platformers at the time. It was revolutionary. The only thing that I see wrong with this game was that I felt like it was one of the early games of that genre, which in turn, it got it right later down the line, I gotta say it. But you had to start somewhere. And of course, thanks to Super Mario 64, we have Super Mario 3D World, which is one of my favorite ones. Super Mario Odyssey, another one. I at first I didn't like Super Mario Sunshine because I used to play it, but then after playing this one and everything, it just gave me a lot more respect for the whole genre. I played, like I said, I played every single Mario game with the exception of Galaxy 1 and 2. I've played everything in general of the series. And I think that, to me, this is the worst Mario game ever made. But I respect the hell out of it. And I understand what it did to the genre and to that. Although I do not like it, and I understand other people may love it because this is part of their childhood. Don't take that. Don't take my opinion as something, this is just my personal opinion. But I truly understand what this game did to the genre. So without, you know what? I'm going to give it its props, and I'm going to place it right here. Even though I did not like the game, I give it its respects. And with all due respect, this is, to me, it was not a great game, but I can tell why people think of it as one of the greatest games ever made. And because it defined a genre. So Let's leave it there. Enough trashing. The next one that I played, I apologize to you guys. I'm sorry, but this is just my opinion on the game. I may do a video on it, maybe, but it's just like, oh my god, playing it is just the reason why I didn't like it. For one, was the controls. Oh my god. Like for example, Zelda Ocarina of Time got the controls right. This did not. Of course, like I said, it was the first game of it. The map was I think that's what drove me insane, was that I would get lost and the maps were just like all over the place. That's what I didn't like about the game. It was just too freelance. Which, you know, as an older player that's used to the original Marios and Mario World and all those games, we're used to a kind of like a direct sequence to the Mario games. But like I said, later down the line, it perfected it. But anyways, enough of that. Next game that I beat was Super Bomberman R for the Switch. This one, a lot of people said it wasn't going to be a great game. And I can see why. It wasn't a bad game, but it just didn't do much. It just didn't do much to the Bomberman series, which to me, I grew up playing Bomberman, the originals, and you have games like for the GameCube, Bomberman Jetters and Bomberman, all the different Bombermans that they did differently. Pocket Bomberman and the Game Boy Color, they did something very different that made it work. And this went back to its roots, but at the same time, it was just meh. It wasn't anything surprising, but it wasn't bad at all. I thought it was okay, but very hard game sometimes, but it was all right. Next one is a game that I enjoyed, that I've always wanted to play for many years, that I've known for many years, and I had a lot of fun playing, and that's Smash TV. This one is like a twin stick shooter action game. I'm not going to go into much details on this one because I definitely want to do a video on that one. And of course, I had a lot of fun. It's one of those games that for the NES, I think it's a fun game that you can't go wrong with it. So definitely one. But I may do a video in the near future. This other one was another game that I got the monkey off my back. I played it many years ago. Then I stopped. Then I tried playing it and I got kind of lazy, but finally I pushed through and I had a lot of fun playing. And that's Dino Crisis for the PlayStation. Very fun game. Very Resident Evil. However, you're doing with dinosaurs. Now it says that it had 2 discs. I don't see the second. Yeah, I see the other disc. It's right here. It's kind of hidden. Yeah, it's a weird. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I'm like... Oh, it has the Resident Evil 3 Nemesis thing. That's why. But yeah, really fun game. I had a lot of fun with it. Very reminiscent of Resident Evil 2, however, with dinosaurs. And it does have sequels. And I just discovered that there was a part 3 to it, which was, they say that it's trash. Part 2 is not bad. So definitely one that I'm going to look for part 2. But it's a very expensive game to own. I don't know if this one's I think this was an expensive game to own, but part 2 and the rest of them, they're a bit more expensive. And then the next game, which I did a video on, oh no, sorry, hold on, I did not do a video. I'm jumping the gun. This is another Steam game that I was like, what the hell did I just play? Logan made me get it. I believe it was free, and that game is called Emma Dream Barbecue for the Steam. Oh my god, this was a first-person adventure game. Ah, man. And it's also in chapters. And this was the first chapter. I think there's like an anime or some type of story based on this, a manga. I don't know. But the game was so freaking weird. It just gave me the heebie-jeebies when I played it. Logan wanted me to play it. And I played it and I told him, dude, I don't know. But I did go through and I beat the first chapter. And it was just a game that I don't know if I want to see the later chapters. I wasn't too invested in it, but it just, because of the weirdness of the game, it was a memorable game to me. And of course, yeah, it was just something that, yeah, it was just weird. But anyways, the next game did, unlike that one, this one was very fun. And I think Logan and I may do a video in the near future on this. This one's also for the Steam, and that's the Jeffy game, based on the Jeffy SML skits on YouTube. Really fun platformer game. Very, very, it was kind of, you want to say Celeste, kind of like a light rage platformer. But we had a lot of fun with this one. So Logan and I had a lot of fun and we beat it. And yes, we may do a video on that one. Next one coming up is one that I did a video, very memorable. And that's Garbage Pail Kids. You know, this one was very fun. I had a lot of fun playing this one. Of course, it's a repro. Very fun game. Loved it. I loved it. This is one of those games that I don't mind playing again. When I played I remember when I did the video on the game, I had a lot of fun replaying it. Go check out my video. This one, I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing the video and playing the game. So definitely right there. This next one, this one probably is one of my high games of the year that I was just in love with, and that is The Last of Us for the PlayStation 3. Simply put, one of the masterpieces of games that I played this last year. Like kind of up there with like Zelda, Ocarina of Time. This game was probably in Poppy Playtime. This game was awesome. Basically, of course, you guys probably seen the series because they made a series. I actually recently purchased the sequel. Can't wait to play that one next. But I had a lot of fun with this one. Basically, you get split up from your brother, and then your daughter dies when this one germ style disease, which comes from like some fungus or something like that, it takes over the country, and it turns people into like zombie like creatures. And so in the future they get quarantined to these cities, and they're trying to find a cure, and they think that this girl has the cure for that particular disease. It's more so, my brain is just out right now. But this game was awesome. Love it. Love this game. The next one that I did. Now this one, it goes on to say I'm probably gonna also do a video on. I do have the physical game, but I forgot it at my parents'. This one is Fix the Adventure for the PS1. This freaking game is one of those games that I would say I got the monkey off my back. And the reason I didn't put it on my notes that I got the monkey off my back, but definitely was one because I started playing it early on many years ago. Then I stopped because this game is just so weird. It's a platformer, a 3D platformer. I may do a video on it, and I was planning on doing a video a while back, but I just didn't get the nerve to do it. But this game is very interesting. It's one of those, it's not expensive to own, I believe, as of the making of this video. But it's definitely one of those video games that it's weird. But I'm not going to go into more detail because I may do a video on it. Definitely, for sure. The next one that I played was one that was very emotional, and it was a fun game. And I really enjoyed it. And that game was Rime for the Switch. Very, very fun adventure platformer, a la style of the games like Old Man Journey, The Broken Circle, Journey, those type of games. Very fun exploration game, and the story is just one that will probably make you cry at the end. It really got me emotional, but very fun game. One that I had for many years, and I decided to pick up last year to play. And this includes a download code for Rime Deluxe soundtrack. Do I have it in there? Oh, yes, I do. Okay. Yeah, I have the soundtrack. So yeah, pretty interesting. Fun game. If you guys ever see this in the wild, it's not an expensive game. Do yourself a favor and pick that one up. It's very fun. The next one is one that I did a video on that was also emotional. One that really took my heart and I loved. And that game was Copycat for the Steam. I did a video on it. Go check it out. Very fun game. Highly recommend you guys playing this one. I'm not going to go into much details. It's basically a platforming cat game, but the story, it goes, it's a very interesting story. Watch my video. This one is well worth the play. Not a long game, but it's very fun. Then the next game that I played was one that I've known of for many years. Always wanted to play these, and I have a lot of these for the Game Boy. May do a video. I'm not gonna say much on it because maybe I will do a video in the future. And this one is Bart Simpson Escape from Camp Deadly for the Game Boy. And this one was one of those games that I had a lot of fun playing. It was very interesting. This one, I want to say that this is it's loosely based on the episode of when Bart and Lisa go to Camp Krusty. One of those early Simpsons episodes. But a very fun game. I'm not going to go into much detail, so I may do a video on that one. Fun game. Recommended. It's very fun. Next one was another one that I've known of since I was a little kid. One that I would play in kiosks, and I would not really understand it. For many years, I tried playing. I actually have the remake of this one, and I need to go back to play it, now that I thought about it. And this one is A Boy and His Blob for the NES. Very interesting game. You play as a little blob that comes from space, and you're trying to help it rescue his planet. Very interesting platforming game. Very similar to games like Prince of Persia, but not quite. But with you commanding a blob. I may or may not do a video on this one simply because I don't know. This one, it was just memorable because of the fact that I've been wanting to play this since I was a kid, and I finally bought the game and I was able to play it. But it wasn't bad. It was all right. It was all right. But this one that's coming up was awesome. It was really fun. I have it for the Switch as a download, and that's Imp of the Sun for the Nintendo Switch. You play a little imp that was sent by the sun out to save the 4 lands that have been taken over by the other demigods that are controlling it, and is turning the world into darkness. And you, as the seed that was sent from the sun, is out to retrieve the lands and save them. Very fun Metroidvania, rather short. I wish it would have been longer, and it left me wanting more. This was one of those games that I beat it around the beginning of the fall. I thought it was going to take me a long time to beat, but it didn't. And it kind of like, it got me wanting to play more Metroidvanias, and it just didn't fill the void for a Metroidvania until the next game that I'm about to show you. Excuse me, but it was a very fun game. It was one that I did enjoy, and you guys should play it if you like Metroidvanias. But the next one was freaking awesome. It is one of the games that was very memorable. I really enjoyed this one. You can say this is literally a Metroid clone, and that is Ghost Song for the PS4. Very fun game. Very fun game. It is mysterious as it was fun. It got me so hooked on the story. It got me going, and it filled my void of Imp of the Sun. It filled my void of a Metroidvania, a true Metroidvania, One that was very fun that I invested a lot of time to. And I believe I think I got 100% on the game. So a very fun game, one that I enjoyed. Basically, you're this unknown like bounty hunter soldier. You really don't know what your identity is. And she goes, yeah, it's a girl. You're actually a girl. And she goes off to a planet that she crash lands on this planet, and she's trying to figure out what's going on because there's other survivors of the planet. It's a planet that was once colonized, that the inhabitants got killed off. And so she's trying to find out what happened to the planet, as well as what happened to the inhabitants, as well as helping the other survivors of the crash land to go and rescue them off the planet. Very fun, very great story. I love this one. This is one that I thought about making a video on. I don't think I will. It's just one of those games that is just, I don't know. I may or may not, but I doubt it. Had a lot of fun with it nonetheless. Very memorable game. Now the next one that was memorable to me, one that I had a lot of fun playing, and I did a video just recently, Clockwork Knight for the Sega Saturn. A game that I wanted to play for so many years, that I've known about for so many years, and eventually, I got to play in it, and I had a lot of fun with it. Watch my video. That video is really fun. I enjoyed playing it, so for sure, take a look at it. I'm not going to go through much of it. Then the next game is one that I've known since I was a kid, and finally, and I should have put on my notes, it was another one that I got the monkey off my back too, but I didn't mention it on my notes. And that is Friday the 13th for the NES. Oh my goodness. Definitely beat it with cheats. This is one that it is so difficult. There's so many things wrong with this game that I wish they would have got. If they would have just gotten it right, it would have been decent, just up there with like Nightmare on Elm Street. But the game, you're basically out there trying to rescue the campers. No, trying not to get the campers killed by keeping the children alive. Not trying to get the campers killed and trying to get rid of Jason. And you have to do those things 3 times. 3 times, which made it really hard. And when I first beat the first try, I thought that I beat the game. And when I saw that, I was like, what? And then I beat it again, and then I was like, what? And then finally, I got the ending where they showed Jason in the purple, in his purple getup. It was memorable because it was a game that I've been wanting to beat for so many years, and I finally did it. Now, this next one was a very interesting, I want to say it wasn't a Metroidvania, but it was one that was very reminiscent to games kind of like Zelda 2, Faxanadu, and I had a lot of fun playing it, and it was a very interesting game. And this one, it's called, let me see if I don't butcher the name, Jikyu Yuden Debias for the Famicom. This one was fun. You're basically a hero that's out to save the king from an evil entity that took over the lands. You gotta go to 3 different lands, and you gotta rescue some of the citizens that got kidnapped. At the same time, you're trying to get like holy items that will defeat each of the bosses to defeat the main evil. And at the end of the game, you have a surprise. And one of the cool things is that the game has 2 endings, believe it or not. And it's a really fun game. It's a very interesting game. Side-scrolling RPG and everything, collect items. Very similar to East 3, Zelda 2, Faxanadu. I had a lot of fun with this one. It fed my need, and I was still looking for more games to be, because at this point I was in October. But here's the interesting thing. While I beat that one game, I accidentally discovered a game in my when I beat that game, I have my how do you call it? My freaking handheld device that plays on the TV and everything. Jesus Christ. Let me I have it right here in front of me actually. It is this one particular device. Ambernick, my Ambernick 353V. I was trying to look for a game to play. When all of a sudden I discovered this one. Aim for the Ace. God, Jesus Christ. Aim for the Ace for the Super Nintendo, for the Famicom. This one is based off an anime. It's a tennis game based on the anime where you play as this character. I think her name is Maria. Is that what it says right there? No, it doesn't say. It's like Maria, and she's trying to make it as a tennis player. But the game just kept me going. It was just a basic tennis game. Very hard. But it was a fun game nonetheless. And I just played it because I found the English somehow in the Ambernick, in the games that you have for the Ambernick when you buy it, had that game in there, and I just popped in. I just accidentally tapped into it and I played it, and I had a lot of fun. Very generic tennis game, but the story was interesting because it's based off an anime. So yeah. And then of course the next game, around the time that I played that, I was also playing the legendary Sutte Hakkun for the SNES. Now I did a video on this one, so go check it out. It's basically a puzzle platformer, a lot of fun, very addictive. If you have a Nintendo Switch and you have the NES games, it's available on there. Fun game. I'm not going to say much because I did a video, so check it out. Next one, I also did a video and I had a lot of fun playing. Kind of similar to the game Chatran. It was nothing special, but it just reminded me of like Chatran, like those classic games. Like it took me back to when I was young, when I was a kid. And that is the Ottifants for the Sega Master System. Very fun platformer. I had a lot of fun playing this one. Did a video on it. You guys check it out. It came out not long ago. But at the end of the day, had a lot of fun. Very nostalgic to me. A lot of fun. Check out the video on it too. The next one was a game that I beat on my... The next couple of games are going to be games that I beat on my Nintendo Switch. They're downloadable games. The first one was Milo's Quest, which is kind of like a little Zelda-style adventure game where you're trying to collect bones to get power-ups. And then you have to defeat certain bosses at the end of the stages to defeat the evil of the land. It's a very fun game. You're the dog Milo. And it was an interesting game, but it's another one that I got the monkey off my back because I started playing it. Then I stopped. It got a little too convoluted and I stopped playing it. And later I got back into it and I beat it and I had a lot of fun with it. The next one was another one called Football Game for the Switch. A downloadable game, horror adventure game. Really fun game. I had a lot of fun with this one. Kind of like a point and click, but more platformy. At the beginning, I didn't know what to do, and I didn't realize that at the top of your screen, you had the items when I first started playing the game, but then it got a lot of fun. Very weird, very fun story, very 80s style story. So, yes. The next one is another digital download that I had a lot of fun playing, and that's Wally's Wonderland for the Switch. This one is an action beat 'em up game based on the movie Wally's Wonderland that starred Nicolas Cage. Very fun movie that I enjoyed. It was, believe it or not, it was the movie that came out before Five Nights at Freddy's. And a lot of people think that this one was the clone, but no. I think that Five Nights at Freddy, the original movie, took inspiration from Wally's Wonderland, how they did the movie. But I really enjoyed this movie. They say that there's going to be a sequel to the movie. Can't wait because I had a lot of fun watching it. More gory, more adult-oriented than the Five Nights at Freddy's. Still gory, but not as bad as this one. But going back to the game, it's a action beat 'em up. You get to choose between the Nicolas Cage character or the girl character. And you get to beat up on the animatronics that you meet in the movie. But it's a very fun game. Highly enjoyed this one. Pick it up. It's not a hard game. Very simple. And I don't think it goes for a lot of money. Then the next digital download that I played was My Big Sister. This is an adventure horror game, not point and click. Very, very fun story. Basically, you're this little girl that is trying to rescue her big sister who when they were traveling, they got kidnapped by this evil entity that wants to take over the body of the big sister. And she kind of does, but then the little sister's out to try to find a cure for her for the curse. And it's a very fun game, very interesting. And the game spawned some other games in the series. But I played this one, and I believe this is the second one without knowing. So definitely a fun game to visit. The next one's another very short, very sad, very fun point-and-click adventure game called Lydia. This one's basically based off of it's kind of like the life story of the creator of the game, who she went through a lot of emotional abuse, a lot of abuse. Very sad game. Very sad game. But at the end of the story, it just gave you hope for the person. So yes, this one was a really fun adventure game. And of course, then the next one, going back to the final games that I beat, very memorable games. These two. Now, I have the Doink Stuff collection. Gato Roboto was one that I beat, and Gumbrella. But let's go with Gato Roboto first, because this is the first one that I beat. This one is a Metroidvania adventure game where you control a cat in a mech suit. And sometimes you have to get off the suit to do different things. You're trying to rescue your master or the man, the pilot that got trapped when the spaceship crashed into a planet. And so the cat's trying to go look for ways to get him out. And the story is very interesting. They discover what happened to the planet and what happened to the laboratory in the area. So this was a very fun Metroidvania, rather short, but was very fun. This next one was a very fun game, Gumbrella. This one is a 2D side-scrolling platform adventure game. You play this one man who's seeking out revenge of the people who killed his wife and kidnapped his daughter. So he's trying to find a way to get his daughter back. It's a post-apocalyptic game, so you go travel through in a train to different towns. Very Western post-apocalyptic game, and you find a conspiracy and you discover what's going on. The reason why it's called Umbrella is because he uses a gun. It's an umbrella that's also a gun, but does other uses. So you kind of use the umbrella as a hook to hook from zip lines. You use it to kind of glide down gently from high areas, and you use it as a gun with different power-ups. Very fun game. Very fun game. I'm gonna do a little side thing about this one. I tried playing this one because I own the special edition of that one, the numbered one, and then I own it here. And this game was very tough. I just kind of give up on it. But these two games were very memorable. And then finally, now we get to the end of all the games that I beat. As of the making of this video, it's already past January 1st. But I beat this game on January 1st. In this game, I was hoping I did it beforehand. I could have included this for next year's, but I said, no, I need to include it now. Because I haven't done the video. I didn't do the video up until now. Love this game. This game consumed my entire Christmas holiday vacation that I had. It consumed like every free hour that I had playing it, but it was so much fun. Love the story. And that game is Red Dead Redemption 2. Basically, you play this gunslinger who is Arthur. You play as Arthur Morgan, who is actually is running away from the law because him and the gang of outlaws stole this one heist, but couldn't get it. So they're on the run, and they move their camp. They go from camp to camp with a lot of members in the gang, and then eventually at one point, the gang gets split. Oops, sorry. The gang gets split up. They get kind of like split because of something that happens. I'm not gonna spoil the story. Something very bad happens to Arthur when later down the line you take control of John. You take control of another character named John. I forgot his last name. I know he went by the alias Jim Moulton, but he went as John. His name is Arthur what? Morgan? I think the other one was called John Mulligan. I don't remember his name. But anyways, in the epilogue after the series of the main one, you play 2 long chapters with the other character. Very fun game. I love westerns. I love westerns. I love movies that are westerns, like the good, the bad, and the ugly style movies, spaghetti westerns. I love them. I love them. And this game was just awesome. Just very memorable. It kind of feed my need until Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out. So definitely was a fun game. Now, I mentioned that I was going to mention to you guys what my top games. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, I skipped the game. Before that one, I beat this really, really fun RPG on the Nintendo Switch as a download for A Vast Future. This one, it's a post-apocalyptic RPG, kind of like in the Game Boy Color style, where you play as this gang of individuals who are trying to stop a doomsday weapon from firing into the planet. So they go about looking for answers as to what went on and what happened after a great war that destroyed a lot of the planet. So that game is really fun. I played that one before playing Red Dead Redemption. So definitely that's one that I definitely had a lot of fun with. But of course, Red Dead Redemption was the last one. But like I mentioned, I was gonna say what games were on my top list that I played. Of course, Red Dead Redemption is one. Gato Roboto and Gumbrella is 2. For a Vast Future is 3. The Ottifants is another one that I considered that as a very, very memorable game. Sutte Hakkun, because this one consumed a lot of my time, like Red Dead Redemption 2. It consumed a lot of my time. Let's see what is the other games. Imp of the Sun and Ghost Song. So Imp of the Sun, like I'm showing you right now. Where are you, Imp of the Sun? Ooh, where are you? So Imp of the Sun took the cake too. Ghost Song. This one was one of the main games that really really consumed. Of course, Copycat. If I can find the paper, it's somewhere in here. Copycat was another one. The game Copycat. I'm trying to see so I can put it up in the thing. Where are you, Copycat? Oh, here you are. Oh, Copycat. That was another one that took the cake. The next one, The Last of Us. Another one that consumed a lot of my time. The Last of Us. Garbage Pail Kids was another game that was very memorable. All the Poppy Playtime games, I will put them up right here. That was memorable, and that's pretty much it. Well, I didn't put this one as a memorable game, but I will throw this one out there because I do remember a lot of it, and I should have put this as one. I'll throw in Zelda, Zelda Ocarina of Time. These were very memorable games that I played over the whole year. So anyways, hope you guys enjoy this video. This is one of those games that, this is one of those videos that I love doing every year. I don't do them often, of course. It's a yearly thing, and I have a lot of fun doing them. And of course, this is not the first video. I've done many. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy the new year. Sending you guys a lot of blessings, a lot of great prosperity to you guys for 2026. Hope you guys, your goals that you guys, your personal goals you do for the year are met. Hope you guys, wish you the best for the year, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Please subscribe to my family, Lily, a simple mom, Logan from Logan's Toy Box Review, Alexis, aka Lexi from Lexi Toy Box Review. Their links will be in the description down below. And again, thank you so much, everybody, for being a part of our family and being a part of our videos. We truly appreciate everything you guys do for us. You guys subscribing, and watching our videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys take care. Peace out.